So I literally have 3 pounds of ground turkey on this pan right here. So I'm going to get ready to season it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start seasoning. And if you're not familiar with Charlie's Kitchen, welcome to Charlie's Kitchen. I am Chef Charlie. So now I'm getting ready to put the garlic powder in here. So that's my first ingredient. So make sure you're taking notes. Then I'm going to use onion powder. And I'm just sprinkling all of my seasonings right on top of my ground turkey meat. And if you're looking for a place to find the best ground turkey, the only place I go to is Smart and Final, as a FYI. Now that is parsley flakes. And then this is the garlic salt. My no MSG garlic salt, okay? And what else am I going to put in this mix? I need some breadcrumbs. That's what I'm looking for, some breadcrumbs. So I need some of that. And I'm just eyeing it. So that's something you want to do as well, okay? So I got my breadcrumbs. I'm going to put a little seasoned salt, and when I say a little, I mean a little, because I'm also going to add some grated Parmesan to this mixture, and that can also have its own salt. So I don't want to over season my meat. I'm going to just try and get this open, because this is a brand new Kraft Parmesan. I'm serious. Sometimes it feels to me like a lot of these things, these companies don't want us to really open. See? Because sometimes they take a little bit longer than you want. So once you get that plastic wrapper off, then you're here trying to get the cap on the inside off. Lord have mercy. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle that Parmesan cheese on top. And then I'm going to get 1 egg. And put on top as well. Okay, now I'm going to mince all this together, and I'll be right back, okay? That ground turkey with all of my seasonings is now mixed up all together. So I didn't tell you guys what I was gonna make, but I am making meatballs, okay? And if you guys see me make my barbecue meatloaf, and also my meatloaf that I put ketchup on top of, then you see me mix up these ingredients. I've done the Parmesan before on a meatloaf. I don't know if that was one that I did in a video for you guys, but the only thing you would probably omit from what we mixed up would be the Parmesan. If I didn't do a video with that. I have made it personally in my house that way, where I've put the Parmesan in there to make meatloaf as well. But moving on, so now the next process is for me to roll up this ground turkey into balls for my meatballs, okay? And yeah, that's it. We're gonna roll all this ground turkey that's here into meatballs, and then we'll get into the next process. Okay, so now I have all of my meatballs rolled up. So we're just gonna start placing them in the frying pan with about a 1/2 inch of oil. And I'm using premium olive oil. And it's smelling good already, you guys. I'm not even teasing. It's smelling so good. So you don't want to overfill your pan, but try to put as many in there as you can, okay? So I think that's good. I'm gonna let it cook on one side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and flip it to the other side. As a FYI, when I mixed all my seasoning and ingredients, you know that I also put breadcrumbs, right? So what I tend to do is to always get my breadcrumbs unseasoned. And I do that because I know I'm going to use my own seasoning, and I don't want to be challenged in cooking with having something seasoned and making sure my seasoning is also on point so I don't over season my food, right? And then a lot of times when you get them unseasoned, get the breadcrumbs unseasoned, you don't know what kind of seasoning they're putting in there. And I just rather put my own seasoning. Okay? So that's a tip for you guys to use when you're getting breadcrumbs. Even when I'm making my meatloaf, I'm going to season it. So I don't need breadcrumbs. You know, these, what do they call these, tongs? They have never been easy for me to use. I don't know what it is. And I've went through a couple of them, but never been great for me to use. I guess I gotta work at that. Do you guys have that problem? Let me know in the comments. I guess you can't be good at everything, right? But using tongs have always been hard for me. It's like I get the meatball on the right side and then it flips over. How annoying. But you can see they're already browning. It doesn't take long, especially when you're using ground turkey. Because ground turkey normally cooks pretty quick. And if you guys haven't checked out my video that I did, my latest video before this one, of course, go check that one out. It's the one with the 3 pictures of me. Check that out because I gave you guys some information coming up on my surgery. And that will be next week. So please check out that video if you haven't checked it out. It's going to give you some info that I think you guys will be happy to receive, okay? So make sure that you're also liking, subscribing, and sharing. Being that I'm going down next week, and I'll be down for 4 to 6 weeks. I need y'all help, everyone's help on the channel to keep it, you know, at the level it is right now, as far as the algorithm. And that's what I mentioned in that video, so I'm not going to go into detail about that right now, but I need your help for the most part, just to keep the channel running and up to date. So if you can make sure any videos that you haven't seen, that you go back and watch those videos, like them, share them, and all of that good stuff, comment on them, because that will help the algorithm, and YouTube will push us, you know, at the top of the food chain, as it was, since this is a food channel, so that we could get those views for the channel. That's definitely needed to grow. So I would appreciate your help in doing so. Make sure to watch the last video as well, so you can see what I was talking about. If you haven't watched it, you can see also what I was cooking as well, and all of that good stuff. So make sure to check it out. I'm always looking for comments and whatnot, as far as if you tried one of my recipes, what you thought about it, all of that good stuff. Because I'm primarily doing all of this for you guys, because I want you to, if you've never cooked before, if you're a beginner, I want you to be cooking in the kitchen. I want you to give me your feedback as to what you thought about certain things. And I want you to love my recipes. You know, it's been a lovely journey thus far. It's been, what, a year and a half thus far. And it's helped me even more so with my cooking, because I've came up with different recipes to share with you guys. And it just keeps me motivated. And so I hope that it's doing the same thing for you guys as well. So I'm just going to cook these a little bit more until they're browned all the way around. And then I'm going to take these out. But the reason that I actually made sure to tell you guys about the last video is because a lot of these meals I am going to be putting in my deep freezer. A lot of the meals that I've been doing this past week, I've put in the deep freezer, like the tortilla soup, the chili beans you probably saw pictures of in that short that I did, and then these meatballs. These are going into my freezer as well, because I figure when I'm down, I could make me a meatball sub. I could have my daughter to make some pasta and put some spaghetti sauce on it and have my meatballs. So all of these things are for me when I'm down, so that I could be able to eat what I want to eat, right? And so that's the purpose of me making all these meals. And it's also something that you can do too. Like if you work during the week, like I do also, you can make meals ahead of time and store them in your freezer, and then when you get home and you're exhausted, you could just pull that particular meal out that's already cooked completely and go on about the business. So that's the great thing about cooking in advance, is that it makes it easier for you, okay? So I'm going to take these meatballs out because they are done. And if you don't want them as brown as I did mine, you don't have to have them that brown. You can leave them where they're of a lighter color. It's just totally up to you and your liking. I like a little bit of crust on my brownies. Not brownies. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about brownies. Meatballs. I like a little crust on my meatballs. But if you don't like that, that's fine. I guess I'm getting a sweet tooth, you guys, because I'm thinking about brownies. Do anyone else like brownies other than myself? Go ahead and put it in the comments if you do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking this batch of not brownies, but meatballs. And I'll be right back. So the meatballs are done, you guys. So you can see. Now if you want to add any kind of spaghetti sauce, whether it be Prego or ragu, if you want to do like a fettuccine alfredo and use that sauce with your meatballs, maybe cut them in half, you could do that as well. If you want to use a marinara, you can also do that. I'm not putting any sauce because I'm putting these in the deep freezer for a later date for me to use. So I want to be able to have the option of whatever sauce I want to put on them at that moment. So just keep that in mind when you're storing stuff for a later date, any kind of food item for a later date. Don't put the sauce on it unless you're absolutely certain that, say for instance, you want it with marinara. So you know later on you're going to want it with marinara. So once you put it on there, you know, you're kind of stuck with the marinara. You understand? So from my kitchen to yours, I hope you guys enjoyed this video thoroughly. The way that you can show that is by sharing, liking, commenting, and also if you haven't subscribed to the channel, by subscribing. So from my kitchen to yours, I am Chef Charlie. Until next time, bye-bye.